everyone, Matt 1995 here in the video game fanfiction plot with a new story for you all. It is called Transformers Prime, surprise! And I do hope you enjoy this video, and remember, I do not own Transformers Prime series or this story. I give full credit to its author Onyx Leader Rogue 177 in DeviantArt. Now on to the story. Chapter 2, In Disguise. Lauren's night had been filled with continuous dreams of the Cybertronians. From Orion Pax, to Optimus, from Megatron to Unicron. Nightmares, dreams, it was all the same. And it wasn't real. It couldn't be, could it? The next morning, Friday, Lauren had gotten ready for school, and was sitting on the couch in her room, pondering the events the day before. She was scared not of them being real but of the doctors. What if they heard she was going crazy? Lauren didn't even know what she was diagnosed with. They said something along the lines of DID, but it wasn't. The best they could give her and her mom was Lauren is a single case of a heightened mixture of avoidant and multiple personality disorder. Lauren hissed, "I'm not crazy. I can't be. Wouldn't I feel crazy? I'm just a little different, right? Talking to myself isn't helping. Maybe I do think there's two of me or something." Luke peeked his head in the door. "You're so crazy, Lauren." Lauren blushed, sighing, "I am not." Eve peeked in too. "We're just kidding. We love you, sis. Everyone knows you're just what the word mommy used. Unique," confirmed Luke. "Yeah, you're cool and unique." Eve nodded. Lauren grinned, then rubbed the back of her neck. "Thanks, kiddos." You see, Lauren had the ability to imagine anything and put herself anywhere at any given time. Especially when she was bored. So many times had she placed herself in command of an Autobot battalion, and charged the walls of Kaon. Megatron and his best returning blast for blast, and finally engaging Megatron in hand-to-hand until Megatron finally knocks her down, preparing for the final blow. "Lauren, can you get yourself to school? Christopher left his car here." Lauren snapped out of the daydream. It felt like a memory. Lauren shook her head. "Yeah, Mom. I got it." Out of all the people in her family, Lauren is said to have been the best, even despite her disorders. She felt almost completely level-headed when driving. In general she felt fine, it's only when she came across something out of the ordinary that she got weird. Like with doctors, other teenage children, human stupidity actually, that one is a universal constant. And hallucinations like seeing the real RC, Jack, and Miko. A quarter of an hour later she was on the road, but she had decided to take the back road. She just felt like taking a calm drive. The dirt roads were fun to drive on, dust rolling behind, the smell of country, and the sun rising. She drove with the windows down and embraced what Texas air she could, before turning on the radio, and singing to Brad Paisley. "This is country music. We do." Passing out of the fields, and into the forests, she rubbed her eyes, and began thinking about the possibility that they weren't a figment of her imagination. What is it was somehow all real, and she needed to do something about it. Lauren began pondering a way to come across them again, when she slammed on the brakes. Scrap! Dust flew into the air, and it was futile in the long run, considering that she slammed into poor Starscream. The airbag deployed, saving her face from anything more than some bruises and a nosebleed. She shoved the airbag away, and threw the door open, before spilling out into the cloud of dust. Lauren dang near coughed her lungs out, before the dust settled. When it did, Lauren was left staring at the Decepticon on the ground, groaning. "Idiot, why didn't he just fly away?" Lauren walked over, and looked at the energon draining from his right leg, and blinked. Double scrap. She growled, "Hey, Starscream! Get up! Autobot!" Lauren tensed in anger, and kicked the metal leg, sending pain up her own. Ow! Unwise. She then decided she could be as annoying as he was. There was no one in existence as annoying as Starscream. So she began knocking. Starscream, knock knock knock, Starscream, knock knock knock, Starscream, knock knock knock, Starscream. "Quit it, quit it, quit it, quit that!" He shot back, sitting up, then blinked. "You're not one of the Autobots' pets." Lauren crossed her arms. "I'm no one's pet, but you just had to step right in the middle of the road, Right at that time, didn't you, Starscream? I have to get to school, you know. I have perfect attendance. Starscream blinked, clearly debating on whether he was more surprised that she was not running from him in terror, or whether he was more surprised to hear a human speaking to him in such a tone. You are speaking to me? Me like some whelp? Oh yeah. No da whelp, Lauren muttered. Do you know how much cars cost? Why didn't you fly out of the way? Well, human, right now I trying to decide if you're either really brave or really stupid, and how you could possibly know my name. Starscream suited, standing up, putting his hands on his hips, and glaring down at her. Why one or the other? Why can't I be both? Lauren shouted. Brave and stupid go hand in hand, it's like they're married. Starscream blinked. What? You know, human bonding ceremony, tying the knots, baby making, etc. Starscream blinked again. Ah, forget it. Lauren harumphed, Decepticons sheesh. She walked back to the driver's seat, and yanked what was left of the airbag out of the steering wheel, and hoped that it would start, even with the crater in the front. What, that's it? You're just getting up, and leaving? Gasped Starscream, no running and screaming, I'm a giant talking robot. Lauren slammed the door, and looked out the window. You're an annoying, pitiful, failure of a Decepticon who can't bother to fly away when a car is driving 10 miles below the speed limit that is heading towards said Decepticon, who in turn turned my brother's hood, and front bumper into a crater. What do you want from me? She tried to start the car. Well, I was expecting you to be afraid. Not a con's chance with Primus, muttered Lauren. The car started. Watch out, if you're not careful enough the cops or army might see you. And you better not jump in front of my car again. As she drove off, she saw the Decepticon gaping until the dust took over the mirror. Lauren exhaled, realizing what she had just done. She had just talked down, and pretty much won some sort of conversation with a Decepticon. Granted, it was just Starscream. The bigger question was, why didn't he transform? She sighed, rubbing her forehead, it hurt so much. School had gone by much faster than she anticipated, and her mind was racing the entire day. If Starscream was around, couldn't other Decepticons be around too? What if they attacked a big city? What if they didn't? She shook her head, struggling in an effort. Her head hurt, trying so desperately to unfold everything, and make sense of it. She asked again, and still no one had even heard of Transformers. She was alone in her efforts. How did she know, and no one else? She walked around to the opposite side of the school, and stopped mid-step. The red and blue 18-wheeler. Lauren spun around, and began walking taut back of the school once more, but she heard the engines roar to life, and the truck followed her, stopping as she did, and opened his passenger door. Why do I have the feeling I'm going to regret this? She muttered to herself. This is a bad idea. But she climbed in anyway, and buckled her seatbelt to secure herself, before he rolled out of the driveway, onto the highway, and towards Route 6. So, which one of us is going to start first? I was waiting for you to speak, answered Optimus. What the scrap are you expecting me to say? Lauren asked. Perhaps you could tell me why you were so scared of RC yesterday, Optimus began. Optimus, let me tell you right now, I thought you guys didn't exist. Optimus seemed confused. How would you have drawn that conclusion? Because, I'm the only one who knows about you all. On top of that, right as I began obsessing over the whole ordeal, I started having problems. Lauren muttered. What sort of problems? Asked Optimus. I really don't want to talk about it, people just think I'm going crazy. Lauren pondered, and if you're just my imagination then I'm thinking they're right. I assure you, I am very real, confirmed Optimus. As real as me hitting Starscream this morning? I'd hope so, she spat. There was a pause, as though he was trying to decide if she was making a human joke, but Optimus ended up asking, I'm sorry, you hit who this morning? I am going to stop right there. I do hope you enjoy this video. If you like to see more of me playing, this game, hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and leave a comment down below. Until next time.